And it's a good day at Future Media TV. I'm Russ Johns and my wonderful co-host, Marion LaSalle. How are you this fine day?
Fantastic.
And we have a very special guest on Marketing Ideas at Work, Richelle Anderson. How are you today? Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're physically located in the world.
Okay, well, I'm doing well. It's beautiful here. I'm actually in the Memphis area up in North Mississippi, and things are good today. I think we got a high of about 80 something today, maybe some rain. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I'll be in the office, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, before we jumped on, you said you were coding, so we'll have to talk a little bit about that. So.
Yeah, I've been coding for about the last 2 weeks. I've got a couple of custom apps in WordPress that have been, needed by a couple of clients.
Are your eyes all blurry?
No, I actually enjoy code. I really do. It's a lot of fun. But a little bit about me. We have a web and marketing company here. I'm the owner. And we've got 2 here in the office and about 150 to 200 freelancers that work with us throughout the United States. And these are writers, other coders, that are, their skills exceed mine. So whenever I need them, I can call on them. Lots of people out there that we work with. So
that's fantastic. We love that model. And, as you know, we're on Blab today, and one of the things about marketing is sharing what you know. And one of the best ways to, I think, advertise what you're doing is to teach what you're doing. Would you agree with that?
In a way, but in my experience, we work with a lot of small business owners, and these small business owners are your pest control guys, your landscapers. They
don't want to know about technology.
They don't care. They really don't. They're like, if my phone rings, I'm good.
You know what, Russ? I think what you really meant was it's good for us to teach, okay? Because we learn it and we learn how to really hone in on every little detail because we know we have to teach it, right? So it's better for us, actually.
That is true.
There you go. There you go. But the main thing that you have to realize is that it doesn't matter if it's a pest control guy, a landscaping guy, whatever. It's gotten to where companies cannot just hand off their marketing to some marketing agency. There's too many factors at play. You've got social media, which if you reach out to, Joe over at Joe's Plumbing, and what if you thought you were talking to a marketer? Would your conversation be different? Would you feel like you connected with that company? And probably not. I know I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. So when it comes to, how small businesses market themselves, build up their tribe and build up their following, they can't just hand it off to like a marketing agency and expect it to be healthy. So we're one of those agencies that we teach clients to the point of, you do this, we do this, but we're here to support you and help you out. So, that they still have some to-do list that they have to do in order to work with us.
They're engaged in the process, right?
Yes. And, and also you got to think about it from our standpoint as well. If a client doesn't understand what we're doing for them, how do they feel like they can pay for that? They don't know what they're paying for.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. If they're not engaged in the process, it's really difficult to see what the actual, the value and the effort and the energy that goes into it.
Right. Now, there's some clients that they do have the thirst for knowledge and they do want to learn how all this stuff works. And I'm like, great. We'll come on, we'll work it in the beginning, and then you can slowly take on little tasks here and there that can kind of pull us away. And then we're more of a consultant at the end.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
You can't do all the talking, mister.
I love this topic, though. I love this whole idea, right?
You can talk next. Okay. So, Richelle,
yes.
Tell me a little bit about the perfect client for you, the person, Richelle. Who do you love to work with?
Somebody that is open to new ideas.
When you say somebody, an individual or a company that has somebody that you're contacting?
Most of our clients are under 50 employees, under, maybe 3 or 4 local locations. I don't like to deal with the big guys. Too much red tape, too much junk. And usually companies that are bigger than that, they have their own marketing team. So they don't need, agencies like us. They're already stuck in their own ways. A lot of times that marketing team, they're not staying abreast of the new stuff and the stuff that works and all of that. So they're doing all the old traditional stuff. So by working with small businesses, we're actually at an advantage versus the big dogs.
I happen to agree. So you like working with the CEO or the marketing director or someone,
doesn't matter.
Someone in the company, and you really like working with the individual.
Yes. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll start with the CEO, and then I'll get the arrangement set up with them on exactly what we're going to do. And then a lot of times I'm working with the CEO, I'm working with the front secretary, I'm working with the complete sales team, in order to implement what we're doing throughout the whole entire thing, because a lot of what you have to do is part of the sales process and part of the process that you go through in your day-to-day operations.
Okay, Russ is going to absolutely love this. Before you move on to that second part of that, answer that question, I really want to know how you get the message across, because we're all working with our messaging, right? How do you get that message across to the customer, to the client, to the business owner that they need you?
We're their partner. And when it comes to marketing your business these days, you need SEO, you need social media, you need a website. You not only need a website, like you can't go to I'm not going to say a name, but you can't go to like these drag and drop website companies. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. That's a good way to say that.
And expect to be able to pull off what your company needs, what your company's goals and needs and wants and branding and all that kind of garbage. What is the message that you're given? And this is one thing that I always tell somebody. When I asked them, I said, let me have you ask me a question. Ask me if I do my own marketing. And they say, Richelle, do you do your own marketing? I said, no, because I'm too close to it. I can't objectively look at what I'm doing to make sure that it's effective. Now I can talk, so I do outsource my own marketing because I'm too close to it. Okay. So a lot of my SEO and a lot of that kind of stuff, yes, I outsource. My writers, I basically put down maybe 7 sentences of what I want to try to say. I get them to write it for me, then I post it, so there's a lot of things that you as a business owner, any of us, right, we're too close to it. We're knee deep in it. We can't look at it objectively if we tried.
Yeah. Well, and one of the challenges that we've bumped into several times as we're going through this exercise is we all are in our own bubble. We're comfortable with the words and the language and the terms we kind of use and throw around, and then all of a sudden we'll have this thing where we'll be talking to somebody and they'll just look at us like,
what are they talking about?
I'm not really sure what you're saying, and how does that apply to me?
Right, exactly.
Just getting clarity on some of these issues is just you really have to boil it down and make it crystal clear, not only for your clients but for yourself. And sometimes that requires a third party to actually look
for me, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because I'm a little bit of a techie person. So I love the idea of video casting, and I love the idea of, webcam, and who's the new video casting people, and how can we use this to da 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 da. But when it comes to that pest control guy, he doesn't care. I mean, that's not important to him.
I know.
You see what I mean? So you have to look at it kind of like, if he was techie and he like got it in his head that he likes the idea of video casting and he's trying to implement it into his business, you see what I mean? It's just like, oh my gosh, what are you thinking? And a lot of times we do that to our own businesses because we get into this whole idea of, but we want to do this rather than doing what really works, because doing what really works, we've been doing that for a year or two and we're a little bored with it.
Frazier in the audience is agreeing with you. I don't know where that came from. He says, 101, basic 101. You need to have an audit of what it is that your goals are and where you are today, right?
Yeah.
Just yesterday, I had a good friend and a client say to me through texting, not verbally, that he went and he got a quote for a website and he couldn't believe they were going to charge him $1,700. So he went out and did his own on GoDaddy, the drag and drop GoDaddy thing. And, I just couldn't say anything. I couldn't say anything because it wouldn't be worth it. To me, I want to deal with people who are willing, even if they don't get it, who are willing to understand that that's where our expertise is. That we've been there, done that, right? We want to help them.
Here's a way that you could have gotten to him, though. Here's a way that you could have gotten to him.
Okay.
Do you do SEO?
Organic only. We don't.
Okay, that's fine. That's the key. That's the best way to go about doing it anyway. Okay. So what you would tell him is you would say, hey, after GoDaddy gets through with your website, let me do an SEO audit just to see if to make sure your content's good. You're not knocking the website. Just do an SEO audit, because there's been some times that actually I've been surprised that things were okay. And as long as they've got a good functioning website that accomplishes the goal and the needs of the company and has their branding in it and their message in it, then go with it. It's fine. I mean, if they can do it a little bit cheaper, great. Go ahead. Go that route. But if you can't find it in search, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. So right. SEO organic is key.
Well, and that's one of the reasons, and you mentioned this again, the pest control guy may not understand or get this video casting or online video or using video in his services. However, we believe that video is an incredibly powerful tool for content development.
I do too.
And if we take and create amazing content that gets shared, explains and educates people about the process and what to expect when the person shows up in your yard, or, that whole entire process. And you can do that very quickly with video, or talking about it just like we're doing here.
Right.
And then leverage that into a podcast or, convert it into text, into a post. There's a lot of different ways that you can utilize this information to create better content for your business.
Right.
And so a lot of business owners don't really recognize the value of that because they just think it's a distraction and it's something that they're not really interested in doing. And then there's another group of people that say, I don't want to get on camera. I don't want anything to do with camera. Well, it doesn't require you to be on camera. It requires your business to be visible in video.
I'm right there with you. But sometimes when you're so close, you're like, you can't figure out exactly what to do. You're getting caught up in how to versus what to. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense.
Like the pest control guy, we're talking about implementing Facebook Live. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what I told him is I said, listen, whenever you're at like a client's location, okay, you don't have to show their entire house, but show like the key parts. Like, hey,
like all the roaches scrambling around under the sink.
Don't go there.
Sorry.
I wasn't going to go there. I was going to go termite.
Sorry.
So, if you go into some place and you see like a lot of termite damage, okay, some people don't know what to look for. They don't know that if you have like little bumps going up your sheetrock, that's a sign of termite damage. They have no idea that they make little canals throughout the sheetrock.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, you wouldn't
Education.
know
See what
that.
I was saying?
So what I told him is I said, pull out your phone, get on Facebook Live and just say, hey, you know, we were out here at a client's location and we saw some termite damage that we don't normally see. If you see this and pull it back to where it's good and in focus, you know, maybe inside your sheetrock or whatever. So this is content that he can actually do live. But by recording it, it sits on his page, so it constantly provides good content for him.
Fantastic.
So, exactly. Yeah. So that pest control guy, rather than sitting here like this talking to us, which would accomplish nothing, he can actually use Facebook Live on the job to actually show, hey, if you see this, you might have a problem. He was telling me one about a lady that kept on calling him, and inside of her room, she'd say, I know I just swept in there. I know I just swept in there. And there were always little, and it wasn't like feces or nothing. I mean, it was just little pieces of paper that were in her laundry room. And she goes, I just swept in there. She had a mouse that was bringing stuff to his nest, and he kept on dropping stuff along the way. Yeah. Wow. And he was able to find it through that. But if you didn't know.
So fantastic. I'm so glad that you mentioned the pest control, because now everybody in the audience, everybody who's watching this video, if it's, you know, you're watching it later, can understand whether you have a brick and mortar or you're an internet marketer, it doesn't matter. You can whip out your smartphone. I don't care what it is, iPhone, an Android, doesn't matter. You can get on Facebook now. Turn it on, right? The little live button, and you can teach people, or you can share what's happening in your life.
Right. Or with the company. It could be that a person inside the office is getting an award.
Yeah.
Hit live. Get it.
Live. Celebrate.
A video is so much better than a picture. Of course, grab the picture too, but a video is so much better than a picture.
So Richelle, tell me, are you working with your clients specifically on video? Or yes. Do you have, like, you know, you have to take the whole package? How do you work your magic?
We are one of those type of agencies that we fit in how you need us. Okay. So in other words, if he called and he said, you know, I'm having some challenges with this, it's like, okay, well, we'll help you with that. No problem. So, but with him, he was actually with one of the big box type of, you know, the big books we used to get. And I'm trying not to mention any names here.
Yeah.
Like he was actually with one of the big books.
Sorry.
At one point, they were doing his website, his local SEO. Exactly. And they were also supposed to be doing his marketing. And when I sat down with him, I was like, well, how many leads are you getting per month? He goes, I've never gotten a lead off my website. I said, and how much are you paying them per month? He was paying them $1,100 a month. Yeah, wow. I'm right there with you. So I'm like, okay, well, first off, we're going to pull the website from him. Then we're going to start doing some SEO. Last week, he called me. He goes, Richelle. And I said, yes. He goes, I got 10 leads off my website last week.
You're hired.
And that's what it's all about, you know, and it's all about, you know, doing something and having a goal and actually seeing results from it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you have a client. Let's just walk through this scenario real quick. Mm-hmm. So we come to you as a client. We say, Richelle, we just need business. We just need business.
Nobody knows about us. Like, we're sitting here.
Nobody knows about us.
We got great products, but nobody knows about us.
Nobody knows about us. You know, we have a website, but it's not doing anything. You know, what are we going to do? What do we do? What can you help us with?
Well, first off, we'd figure out who. You remember back in, like, I think it was 6th or 7th grade in English, we were taught to do like that essay, the who, the what, the why, the where, the how, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we go through that. We have a questionnaire that is actually set up just like that. Who is your client? You know, what is important to them? Where are they?
Does Fraser work with you?
What are they doing? No.
Because he typed that in earlier. He's like the who, what, why, how.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
We must work together.
Oh no, it's pretty common. I mean, and it's common sense if you think about it. If you don't know who you're talking to and you don't know where they are, you don't know what drives them, their why, your marketing message is just lost. You won't know what to say.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. You got to find out what your why is, and then you got to find out who your clients are and what they need.
What their why is.
Right. What their why is.
What's their pain point?
Oh, yeah.
What's the thing that they need right now? What do they need today?
So right funny. Now. Russ and I, we used to run a group every single week. And we had all these business owners in this group, right? And it was physical, like we were sitting there in a room.
I have one of those. We meet once a month.
Well, this was for Future Media Association. So we would teach them something every week, right? We would have a 30-minute or 45-minute teaching. And then we would discuss it. And sometimes we would actually do it if it was video. And every day or every week we'd get together, we'd ask them the same question. So what would you like to learn next? What questions do you have? And do you know they always sat there and went, they don't know why. You got to figure it out some other way. You can't ask them. They don't know. They just
they don't know what they don't know.
Well, one of the best ways to do that is to not necessarily ask, but if you as a business, if you've been established for a little while and your phone is ringing and you have this question, here's the best thing to do. Get a little steno notepad. It's not digital, okay? But just get a real quick steno notepad. Put it next to your phone. Carry it with you. Put it in your bag. Whatever you do whenever you are answering the phone when people call you. And when you say, hi, this is Marion. How can I help you? Write down the first thing they say. Not after you've talked to them for a little while. The first thing that they say. Because what you're doing is you're getting it in their language, the way they understand it. Because we may understand it as a call to action. And we may understand it as, branding. And we may understand it as this. But they see it as, I think my logo needs a little work. Hey, my website sucks. Your website may not suck. It just may need your branding implemented throughout it.
Right.
You know what I hear a lot, you probably do too, is my web designer has quit responding. He passed away. He never calls me back.
He got a job.
Yeah, he got a job. He left the country. I mean, it's usually that they're up and running, but they're left, high and dry. They have nothing. Yes. And they don't know how to get into their website. They don't even know the difference between a URL and a link. Right. They're just stuck and they're nervous and they don't even know what to ask. Right. So, yeah, a lot of confusion is what I get.
Exactly. And, and I'm going to pull off of this just a little bit. And that was one of the reasons why I actually went into business was, if you see the lighthouse, and it's a little cheesy. My grandmother actually had this story, that she would tell me, and it was about, have you ever seen the paintings of Little Boy Blue and Pinky?
Yeah.
You have? Uh-huh. They were actually painted by two different artists, but yet they started to be presented together at some point. And now they're seen as a pair where they weren't whenever they first started.
I did not know that story.
Yeah. And anyway, my grandmother had this story of Little Boy Blue was a sailor and he would go off and Pinky would stay there and wait for him. And I'm shortening this up quite a bit. But she would stand on the highest rock about the time he was supposed to come back. And she would try to stand at the highest rock on the island so she could be his beacon home. Because a lot of times seamen, they would get lost. Oh, I know. It's so romantic and all that. But if you think about it, she was his lighthouse. And so many businesses are on this ship of very rough waves and they have no idea where they're going. Their compass is broken. They don't know where they're going. They have no idea where to go. They've been told they have to be online. They have to be on social media. You have to do this. You have to do that. If you're going to be in business, you have to do this. And they're like, all I want to do is spray for termites. I don't know how to do all this,
That's
you know.
true. They're very frustrated.
And they need somebody that doesn't have one hand in their pocket, and you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
That can give them good, rock solid, this is what works advice on how to make it online. And how a small business owner can stand up against the big box stores.
I call them digital Sherpas.
There you go.
Yeah. I like the lighthouse analogy, though. That's a great story. I mean, yeah. I'm sure that you've been able to share that over and over again. So fantastic. Well, yeah. Richelle, I love these conversations. And as we were talking before the show, and we won't really get into this during this show, we love this platform. However, with many other platforms,
we're leaving.
We have to actually look at other options because, we can't throw all our eggs in one basket.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take some of these shows and put them on other platforms and test out and evaluate these things. And so marketing ideas at work are not only share what's working, but also explore, go to the sea and get out of the port and go travel around and see what else is out there. So
I was actually looking at YouTube live streaming. Have you guys
We were actually testing that the other day.
It's still...
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't played on it yet. I was just more looking at it.
Okay, somebody like Russ would be very comfortable on it, but he's got to drag me along, and he's thinking, "Oh man."
Well, here's the beauty of what we're doing here on Blab is that, and this is what is so frustrating, is this is very easy. Blab to me is what Google Hangouts should have been, right?
Right. So
Google Hangouts, the frustrating thing, I love parts of it. The frustrating thing I can't get past is, there's only one focus group, the way that the layout in the video works. If you talk, it highlights you and it goes back and forth and back and forth. And I just don't, Hangouts on air, it records live to YouTube. That's great. It's stored. That's a great thing. That's a plus. It's easier to get on. It's easier to access now. They've updated it recently, and it's great. However, the interface like this, where we can have multiple people in a room having a conversation, and we are all here, and we can actually get interaction on the sidebar with the live chat, is just, to me, incredible. I mean, it's just a great way to have a conversation of exactly what we're doing. And my goal, and I'm dragging Marion along, is I want 100 shows a week. Talking, you have different people having different shows and producing these shows every week. And to do that, we need a platform that we can actually depend on. So
I do get up and walk every once in a while. You don't have to drag me everywhere, okay? Every once in a while, I get up and I go, okay.
Well, you drag me in other directions too, so it works out.
I was looking earlier, and it looked like the YouTube, that the UI they've been working on it.
Uh-huh. Well, YouTube's getting ready to launch what they call YouTube Connect.
Right.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen anything, around that arena. So I'm excited to see it. I hope that it's not more like Periscope than Blab. I've heard that it's going to be more like a Periscope. They call it the Periscope killer, but it's like, all right. However, we've discovered a way that we can actually stream to Facebook Live too from a desktop, and
yes. Or using OSB.
Yeah.
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 And OSB is actually tied in with both YouTube and some other streams as well. You just have to pull down that little menu.
Yeah, and we recorded the other day. Marion and I recorded to YouTube with OSB too. So
we had a testing day. It was kind of fun.
In fact, have you ever been on Zoom, Richelle? Have you ever used Zoom?
No, I have not. But I see Facebook doing this, what we have here,
Uh-huh.
combining Facebook Live, along with chat.
Like with Messenger.
Group messaging, yes, with Facebook Live.
Yeah. Yeah. And there again, it goes back to, okay, am I going to put all my eggs in this basket and depend on Facebook?
Yep, exactly.
You know what's going to happen 6 months down the road? They're going to say, oh, you want to use this now?
Well, here's the thing. I think Facebook's going to be the next search engine. Because right now we have Google, we have Bing, and Bing is actually coming up because of Amazon Echo.
Mm-hmm.
And Bing is actually gaining a little bit on Google. And now you have Facebook, which has this huge intelligence that it has gained on so many of its users that it is almost better than RankBrain, which, as we know, is Google's artificial intelligence that predicts what we want to see in search. So,
and just think of
you guys already know this, huh?
The billions of people that are going to access Facebook in the next,
right?
Right.
Well, I don't want our viewers to worry. Okay, you can go to futuremediaassociation.com and see where we're going to be. If you all of a sudden come to Blab looking for us and you don't see us much here anymore, just know that you can go over to our website and find out where we are. Right?
Exactly. Well, it's been a wonderful conversation, Richelle. We're going to wrap up the show. We got another one at
Fraser. Anyone remember MySpace? Yeah. I have put Richelle's information on the side. You can reach her on social. You can go to her website and just, talk with her. See if you have something that you guys can work on together. I know that I'd like to work with Richelle on a few things, Russ and I are really good at what we do, but you know what? Our shoes have holes in them, and we're not taking the time to patch those shoes right now. So you never know, right?
Exactly.
That is true. And also, if you guys are a small business and you guys reach out to me and you mention this show, we'll go ahead and do that free SEO audit for you, free local audit for you.
Thank
you. Yeah. We usually charge around $800 for it.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Don't include that in the recording.
I'm not. Turn that
that is only for the people that joined us live.
Too late. The recording's still going. Darn it.
Okay. We're going to wrap this up. Hey, thanks everyone for being here. Richelle, you're a wonderful guest and love the fact that we can connect like this, and you have a fantastic day. Marion, love you. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Thanks
everybody.
for having me, guys.
Thank you, Richelle.